Hi, my name is Sarai Gaspar and I'll be doing this week's UDLRA on camera time reflection, week 10. I observe in a 6th grade classroom. The subject that the students are working on when I observe is math. The assessments that I see in the classroom are formative and summative. I see the teacher leaning more into summative assessments though. Not a bad thing. But the students, they usually take a end of a chapter slash unit exam on laptops. It's about like almost 2 hours long. Mostly it takes that long. Well, it takes longer than intended to, because a lot of the times the students, they get off task. It's very easy for them on laptops to just surf the web or do something else than the actual self-assessment, the exam. So I've heard him, the teacher, not actually seen him, observe him do a formative assessment. I've heard him say, I am going to give an exit ticket to see if you guys know this or not. I haven't stayed to observe if he actually does it, but I've heard him mention it to his students. The assessments that I would use, if I would use the same one as the teacher does, I say yes, but I would try to use more formative assessments in classroom, because as an experience of my own as a student, I feel like I was exposed more to summative assessments. I wish I would have been more exposed to formative, just because formative, I feel like they're like checkpoints to see if you know stuff or not, and if you don't, it's more easier to go back and check midway or in the beginning of a chapter than to wait until the end and be like, oh well, I guess I don't know this stuff after all. But yeah, I would use both. I feel like both are important as a teacher to use. Formative to check in students, and summative to see at the end if they do know the stuff or not. So yeah, I would use both. The only thing, however, is I would try to stay away from laptops on assessments. Summative, formative assessments, especially summative, because I've seen in this classroom that I observe in, students tend to get distracted. They get out of the actual application they're supposed to be in taking the exam, and they go play some video games or just surf the web, looking at the grades, and like that takes their time to be working on the actual exam. And then when they hear they have a few minutes left, they just go back in and rush and don't actually take the time to answer the answers correctly. So that's the only thing that I would try to kind of stay away from, our laptops assessments. But I know they can also be helpful, but there's like between that. But yeah.